Hello, hello. I have the wrong screen showing. What kind of unprofessional crap is this, huh? There we go. Now we have it set, ready to go. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Hope you guys are pumped and excited, ready to go. Let's take a look and see what our quote today is. Need to add some new quotes, so that means I have to say something cool. So, raising a family is hard unless they're buried close together, said the necromancer. I'll give you a moment to think about that for a second. Necromancer says raising a family is hard unless they're buried close together. All right, so today we are going to turn off the stream first, so I stop having an echo, and then we're going to be doing some things. So my plan is twofold. I'm going to be looking at the characters. They all leveled up. So it's the first time in a while they finally got to level 10. Dun, dun, dun. So they're very excited. They were glad to get the stuff that they were the boost they get from leveling up. And so we need to check and make sure their stuff is coded correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to look and see. So since we use this is my Back to Basics campaign. And Remedies, Robin, how the heck is ya? Those of you who don't know who Remedies is, first of all, shame on you. Everybody should know who Remedies is. Second of all, um, should check out her streams. She has live play D&D. She also does some. She does a lot of. I wouldn't say it was conversion in the sense that because conversion means you take something that's already made and put it into Fantasy Grounds for use in Fantasy Grounds, whereas she does a lot of her own stuff. She does a lot of her own authors, but she shows you how to do all that stuff, build tables, how to make races, things like that on her streams. So follow her, check it out. She's awesome. She's an awesome person, and she's a really good DM. So today we're going to be looking at these, making sure that they've leveled up, have all the stuff coded correctly, and then we're also going to be messing with the map. Da map. So in this here map, they have what it was just black and white map. I'll show you later. So this started off, let me show you. Can I do all of them at once? No. All right, so where's the floor? Here's the floor. So that's what it was originally, just black and white. Turn off line of sight, boom. So this is what it was. So I went through and said, well, forget this. And I built what hopefully is a better map for them to use. I got a pit trap that nobody can see except for them. It's an acid trap. Boom, see, so they can't see it. Um, Actually, that's the wrong one. I clicked the wrong one. So right now, here, this is the one. So it's invisible to them. But anyway, so all these rooms have this cool stuff, and I was a little awkward the other night because this room had a desk and a table that I didn't take the time to add in there. So they kept wandering around and standing where the desk would have been and stuff like that. And I felt to myself, I was like, damn it, Sven, you let yourself down, let your players down. You didn't do your job. So I'm trying to rectify that. and add some more stuff to it. So I went through and added these bookcases and bookshelves in here because this room is full of knickknacks and curios that they're supposed to be searching through. Um, so, and I believe that was on my last stream, so you can check that out if you are something you want. Story of life. This place has things I didn't add in. Yeah, well, there you go. Well, and to answer your question, Remedies, I'm doing all right overall. Putting on a good front at least, you know. So let's get back to our characters. We have a barbarian first of all, and Mr. Barbarian, he's actually a barbarian fighter because this character, who Remedies does know as Nick, his Tusk, he's definitely min-max, so he is very stereotypical. The nice thing is, most min-maxers that I've played with don't roleplay very well. So they treat this like a video game. They try to get the best possible character they can get, have the best highest numbers, and uh, walk into a fight, kill it, move on, and that's the whole thing. With Tusk, this half-orc barbarian slash fighter, uh, he's done a really good job of role playing him, and so in addition to being a min maxer, he's also a really good role player. So it hasn't been as daunting. The biggest problem I have, like you do with any time you have one character who's way overpowered, is trying to find a balanced way to do fighting and do combat as a DM. Um, because if I tailor all the encounters to stand up to this massive people, this massive tusk, well, then they can one-shot some of the other creatures when they're sitting there with 200 or 300 hit points, and it just slogs on forever. So you got to find things that waves of people that he can wade through, feeling his. I mean, you min max for a reason. You should feel like a hero sometimes. So sometimes I'll send waves of them. That's happened a couple weeks ago. Again, you can check it out on YouTube, where there were 22 enemies, and Tusk would just come in, kill 3 of them in one hit in one round. Meanwhile, the rest of them are sitting there plunking away, doing their stuff, and then he'd go, move again, kill 2 more. So it gives him the chance to really shine as this tank, uh, killing machine. Um, or I'll also do things that poof, he's now held, or he's blind, or he's um, out of the fight while the rest of these people are running around. I've had invisible stalkers fight them and things like that, to where it tries to make up for that superpower stuff. All right, so he took a level of barbarian, so he got the feral instinct. So let's see. You have advantage on initiative rolls, so he has a great acts of warning, so he has advantage on initiative rolls already. But if he's surprised at the beginning of combat and aren't getting incapacitated, you can act normally on your first turn only if you enter your rage on that turn. Okay, so if he enters his rage on his first turn, he's surprised. Yeah, that's a very, very minor niche. I'm not really going to worry about that. But let's make sure while we're talking about Tusk, open up our combat tracker. Let's see if he has advantage on initiative. So unlike Remedies, who does the traditional way of initiative, in all my games, both Starfinder and Dungeons and Dragons, I do um, re-roll initiative every round. I think it's a little bit more realistic in that, especially boxers even them, just a one-on-one UFC fight or something, um, there are going to be times where one guy is just sort of waiting and studying um, his opponent, and we'll do a couple jabs, and he'll do a couple more jabs, and then the other guy will respond, and then he might respond back again. So it's not I punch, now you punch, now I punch, now you punch. There's going to be ebbs and flows of how that fight. Now you add that to a bar fight, or you add that to a battle scene where you've got 10, 15 people involved. It's not this guy moves. Okay, now this guy moves. Now this guy moves, and this guy doesn't move again until everybody else has acted. Now he goes again. It's chaos and it's fighting, and sometimes this guy will get to go, and then something will happen to distract him, so he'll get to go again. Um, so I like that ebb and flow of the changing the initiative every round. Fantasy Grounds makes it really simple because it does it all for you. Plus, honestly, there's a huge part of it by changing the initiative every turn. It keeps the players more engaged. What I mean by that is, so Kithri goes at the top of the round. Well, she takes her turn. She knows he's not going to do anything until the next round. If so, she can go play on her phone, do whatever she wants to do because she knows she's not going to do anything for a while. But with this changing initiative, if you have somebody toward the bottom, then they don't know. They could go, and then they could go right again in 2 minutes. So it keeps them a little bit more engaged, and to my personal opinion, it's a little bit more realistic. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, there are bad parts about it. If you go first this round and then last next round, that means everybody gets to go twice before you. But same thing is true of the monsters, and it's random, and it doesn't that the extreme doesn't happen very often because typically you're still basing your rolls off of your initiative modifier. So anyway, enough preaching. Just let me get down off my soapbox here. Um, my point was, let's check and make sure he has advantage in it. He does right here. Affects Bronze Tusk, advantage in it. So all I'm going to do is go into here and just add Bronze Tusk and Feral Instinct. So this just gives a nod to what that is. Who knows, he might lose his favorite weapon sometime. It's happened before. It's been stolen to him while he was sleeping. Stolen from him while he was sleeping. And the funny thing is, he has a bracelet. So there's a Starfinder artifact, magic weapon, that I resurfaced in my D&D game. Basically, what this does is he has this great axe that he made himself. He's a smith, smithy, and so he took this. It's covered in bronze, and he made it's magical. So the bronze is a little bit more has a little bit more oomph and lasting power than normal bronze. And what you can do though is you can touch it to the command word, and it'll zip down to the size of a charm and be on this bracelet. And with another command word, it goes back to full size. So while he was sleeping, a uh, Nilbog came and stole the bracelet, not knowing there was a axe attached to the bracelet. So it was pretty funny because he woke up and didn't have his favorite weapon, and he was pretty upset. And because it wasn't dangerous, the actual warning didn't work because he was not in any danger. So that was a nice little. They were level 9 at the time, so it was cool. Anyway, so he's done. Pretty quick and simple. All he gets was Feral Instinct, um, his raised damage, all that stuff. None of that changed. All right, so level 10. Yeah, their proficiency bonus won't go up again until 13. All right, so he was a quick, easy one. Let's check out our Ragu. So Kithri Underbow is a arcane trickster rogue, and let's check and look and see. So at 10th level, that's right, she gets an ASI, ability score improvement. Her sneak attack is still 5d6. I want to make sure that that's correct. I don't know if I verified that from, I'm sure it is, because, well, she's not a min-maxer. She definitely knows what the heck she's doing. Halfling, magic ammo, potions and items. Ragu, here it is. Sneak attack. Open up the magnifying glass. 5d6, okay? And so if you don't know, so if you have something like this, you'll also see Genesis has an insane amount of stuff on her actions page. Give me just a moment. My body's reacting. All right, I'm alive. So what you can do is things like this, potions, boof. You click this button and it hides it. So, uh, so let's see. So at level 10, she got the ASI, and so let's check the spells. So I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. I know I started to, but this is when I first started. This is my first campaign I ever started on Fantasy Grounds. Didn't know what to do. Threw it out there in the forums saying, "Hey, I'm making a back to basics campaign, PHB only." Simply because this was my first foray into Fantasy Grounds as a dungeon master, and I just want to keep things simple. And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with these character builds. Even things that aren't as optimal. The Ranger might be the only argument. The Ranger Beastmaster might be the only argument that they aren't as good. But a lot of these builds in here are nice. The and are completely viable. So I said this is a back to basics campaign. Everything from the PHB, spells, races, classes, PHB only. And we've stuck with this. This has been going on for 4 years now, I guess. We're level 10. It's all majority of it's homebrew, and by homebrew I mean a lot of it is. Uh, I'll take bits and pieces from different things. I'll take a map from this one. I'll take some guts from this story, or uh, and then I had this idea in my mind for the overall arc that they've been sort of ignoring and following on our whims. But the point is, PHB. Um, Now, I, as DM, have added and given them a lot of weird stuff and new spells and new magic items and things like that. They've run into people from other books. Even a Magic Arcana Brute joined their group for a moment because they rescued him, a gladiator. So things like that. But as far as the players are concerned, it's PHB only. So at level 10, she should have 4 cantrips. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool, cool, cool. She should have 7 total spells. Her spell slots are correct because it's Fantasy Grounds, people. Fantasy Grounds does it all. And so she needs 7 spells to make sure she has the correct number of spells. All right, so she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Now, so 2 of these are not correct. So the reason I know they're not correct, and by correct I mean Rob Toohey, who's hey, Atomic Hero Squad, howdy, howdy, howdy. So Rob Toohey made spells, went through and changed all the spells. Robin also Remedies went through and did that for a couple other books, these dark, deep magic books and things like that. It was crazy. It's like 700 spells that she made the codings for. Um, Fantasy Grounds does have some, but they're just not as anywhere near as good as Rob Toohey's and Robin's. So if we go under the DM's Guild, you can type Robin Nyx with a Robin with a Y and Nyx NYX. You'll find her coding for Deep Magic if you use it, or just search Deep Magic Fantasy Grounds version. Anyway, so having them, things like this where it says self, 60 feet, concentration, stuff like that, um, makes it easier and tells me that these two aren't coded using his coding. Um, Let me do my shout out to Main Man Atomic. If you guys haven't, don't forget you guys can also do it if you care. I love doing my quotes. I've got like 20 of them right now, so check them out. You can just type in quote. You can also do follow age if you want to see how long somebody's been following me, or if you want to see how long yourself, it goes down to the second how long you've been following me. So anyway, so let's get back to this. Let's take a look. What you do is just go over to spells. Boom. You can do this yourself. So as I mentioned, I made my own spells. I also do things like Witch Bolt. I've totally changed Witch Bolt because as written, I don't think it's a very good spell. Um, I've changed True Strike. I have 3 versions of True Strike because as written, I've never seen anybody who uses True Strike, the cantrip, because it's a terrible spell. So I make one that's a fast True Strike and one that's so the True Strike, it's a bonus action. So instead of, so you can cast it and use it and then attack. So it gives you advantage on your next attack. Or I have True Strike, which is like Fairy Fire, where it's a cantrip and the next person that attacks that person uses the bonus. So that's how I rewrote those True Strikes. And what you do is once you've written the coding for it, you then take it from your actions page and drag it into your spells, and it'll then be available for you, anybody else in that campaign. You can do the same thing if you don't have, so say you want to make your own magic item or take a healing potion. If you don't have the coding for a healing potion, you can type it in and then drag it into your spells, and then open up your other characters and drag it from the spells now into your actions page, and you'll have the coding for that healing potion, no matter where you want to, who uses it. Um, so we go to darkness. My old friend, it's time to talk to you again. All right, here we go. See, there's the difference. PHB, 5e effects. So we drag the right one over. And I made it too big. There we go. Make it a little bit smaller so I can see what the heck's going on. Up. There we go. Okay. Click. Boom. So now, as you see, it has 60. This. He also does spell tokens. If you use spell tokens, I typically don't. I use my own version. I don't use the what is that called? Extension. Wow, that was a lot harder than it should have been. See the smoke. Luckily, my headphones cover my ears so you can't see the smoke coming from them as I was trying to think of that one stupid word. There we go. Boom. All right, so she got, again, if you click the magnifying glass, uh, that hides this particular spell, and then you can just click the gray or this whole column with brown, red, depending on what theme you're using. And those of you who are wondering, this is the dark theme. Um, so I like it. I like it a lot. So let's see, what did she get at level 8? So the ASI she got was, I don't know. All right, so I'll have to ask her. So she got skilled for one of them. Oh, linguist. That's what it was. Linguist. So click. So what I do is I put here linguist. Sometimes, depending on the game, like Starfinder, you get feats every odd level, and then soldiers get them every level. So it's I'll put the level so they can see which one is which. But in this case, it doesn't matter. So she get linguist. So linguist just I think it's just let's see. Her intelligence score went up by 1, so that's huge for her because she was even. I mean odd, so now she's even, so that's great. Makes her spells better. Learn 3 languages, and she can create cipher. Dun, dun, dun. Very, very cool, man. All right, so click. Oh, what's happening with this? What happened here? Did I click a button by accident? I think I did. All right, so we go click. There we go. All right, 'cause I know it wasn't there a moment ago. All right, and you're wondering why she has 3rd level spells? Because she has a magic item that gives her counterspell and dispel magic. So it's actually pretty cool. She uses a sling, and this sling is called Mage Bane. And so Mage Bane. So the weapon itself can cast counterspell, but she also has ammunition that can cast those spells as well. So speaking of witches, let me look at real quick her inventory. I want to take a look at Mage Bane because and regains 1 expended charge daily at dawn. Okay. All right. Yeah, they really need to do an extension for these magic items that don't charge. I have magic items that have a 75% chance to recharge at dawn, or like your wand of magic missiles gets 1d6 back every dawn. But there's really no way to code that right now, and there should be. All right, now we're on to our cleric. 12 messages. What the heck? Ah, caps. Caps. Okay, so it wasn't emojis or anything else. It was just caps. I'm gonna turn that off. Because links I can understand because Nightbot will stop the spammers who here's something for to get followers or to make your donate a kidney, follow this link. So I'm going to make a note here to turn off the caps. I don't care if you type in caps or not. If it gets annoying, I'll tell you, hey, stop using caps. Nightbot caps. All right, so for the rest of this stream, we still can't use caps, but after that, it'll be fixed. So next stream, you'll be good. You'll be golden. All right, so here we go. Oh, don't worry about it. It's not you. You're not the only one. So she picked up. She's a five bard, five cleric. If I'm not mistaken, she went up in bard. So let's check and see what bardly stuff she gets. Bard. Yes, I know she did because her bardic inspiration went up to D8 and her font of inspiration is now something she has, which is you regain all of your uses of bardic inspiration when you finish a short rest. Holy shnikes. So she has, and that's especially weird for her because how many bardic inspirations do you get? Equal to your charisma modifier. Okay, she also picked up a talent that gives her extra ones, so her charisma mod is 4. So let's take a look at her actions page. So Bard, she has 1, 2, oh no, she didn't. Okay, she has 4. Perfect. So now we go to our mode of preparation. So this says daily, so you just click here on this. So you make sure down here it says mode preparation. And then here you just go click, and now it's rest. So daily, rest, once are your options. So now it'll automatically refresh every time she changes, every time she takes a short or long rest. And now we're back to combat. We go over here to the magnifying glass, and it says Bardic Inspiration, D6, used for ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. So we click on the magnifying glass for this one, click on this, D8. 10 minutes to the target, everything is awesome. Okay, and that was that one, and so that's it. That's all we need to do. Cool, cool, cool. So, let's see. And then for spell slots, when you gain a level, you can choose one of the and replace it. You can learn one new spell. No, hold on a second. Here it is. First 4K. When you learn more, oh, here it is. Dumbass. All right, so it's up in the cart. She should know 8 bard spells. So let's count up her bard spells and see if she has it. So again, we don't need this anymore. So we're just gonna go clickety, clickety, clickety. We're just clicking these so to minimize this huge list here. How many cantrips should she know at level 5? Five, she should know 3. Good. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So she should know one more Bard spell. Um, and does she get third level yet? You would think I would know to just keep it open to the page. Here it is. At 5th level, she does know third level spells now. Okay, okay. All right. So, all right. It's okay. It's okay. Let's see. Did she put him somewhere else by mistake? Nope. All right. So she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She should have 8, so she should know one more spell. And let me put that in her. So we use a Discord. May the 4th be with you. By the way, to you as well. So let me throw this on here. I'm just going to say here, send her a quick little massage. I don't know what happened here, but okay. Yes, and for those of you who do use Discord, or a lot of messaging services like this, my work has a similar one. You can edit your comments in your messages. The two things that annoy me are the people who sit there and will write 3 words, send it, 3 more words, send it, 3 more words, send it. Put it all together in one message and send the whole thing. Or if you then need to add something, just edit it and add it to the end and resend it. You dorks. Because people will type in something and then send it again. This is not a text message, people. This is a Discord or chat service or something. Just go back in and fix it if you make a mistake. Anyway, and then delete it if it's not necessary anymore. So, regardless, or if it's sent to the wrong person, don't put a message underneath it. Oops, sent to the wrong person. Just delete it. So, enough. I'm off my soapbox now. So I'm sending her the message of Genesis, which is her character's name. Can have one more Bardly spell for a total of 8. Just double checking, double checking, double checking. Yep. And you can now cast 3rd level Bardly spells. Now, the reason why you may be wondering, don't forget. So let me see what it said when you go up a level, if you can change any of them or just one. It said, quotely, let's see. When you gain a level, you can choose one of the bard spells you know and replace it. Yes. You can replace one spell. Okay, so there we go. So if you're not, most of the time, if you're not multi-classing, Fantasy Grounds just keeps track of everything up here, and it makes it really simple. But when you're dealing with a multi-class, here she has 5th level spells, and you're like, wait a minute, she's only 5th level. How can she cast 5th level spells? Because she's actually 10th level, and so the way 5th edition works with a dual um, with somebody who's multi-classed spellcaster, you can cast the spell slots are really nice, unless you're a warlock and you multi-class with another spellcaster, then it's a different animal. But with traditional spellcasters, even if it's a ranger, paladin, the ones that don't get as many arcane trickster, if you don't get as many spells as the other ones, the way it works is very simple. You have X amount of spell slots, and you can use any spell that you know in any of those spell slots. So what I mean is her heat metal, she can cast it up to 5th level if she wants to, even though it's a bard 2nd level. And she can use, so say her 1st level, uh, let's go to her cleric spells. Let's see. Where are her cleric spells? Interesting. I don't see her cleric spells. Anyway, well, so say she had magic missile at 1st level. She could cast that magic missile spell and use up every single spell slot casting only magic missile if she wanted to. It doesn't matter. My point is you don't have so many bard spells and so many cleric spells you can cast. She just has spell slots and she can use them in any iteration she wants, and it makes it really nice. Um, I am concerned though because where the heck are her cleric spells? That is odd. She should have cleric spells. She's a 5th level cleric. She should have 1st, 2nd, and 3rd level cleric spells as well. So that's just weird. Um, oh, that's why. Standard. There we go. She doesn't have them prepared. Freaked me out there for a minute. So she doesn't have them prepared like she should. I'm going to have to talk to her about that. Oh, okay. So what she did is, so there's 2 ways of running a cleric. What you should do in, well, maybe not should is too strong of a word, but one way of doing it, what a lot of people do, is they drag every cleric spell over for the levels you can cast. And then each morning you go through and you prep, click the little buttons for the ones that you prepped. Um, and then when you click on the mode for combat, that they are the only ones that show up. What she does is she only drags over the spells that she knows that she has prepared. So she only has these 5 spells sitting there. Um, okay, so all right, so we're good. So she's good. She's golden. We're happy with life. She has those 2 things that change. Last but and least, yeah, see what I did there. We have Krek. So Krek is going to be, I forgot my May the 4th. All right, so Krek is going to, he is a sorcerer. Let's see how well he did. So this player is one of those interesting people, and I'm by no means saying this is a bad thing to do. Um, but he's uncomfortable role playing. But I really like this player, not the character, but the player, because he is consistent. He is there, my only player of all my games, who is consistently there every week, all the time, usually 5 to 10 minutes before we're supposed to start. He is always there, always logged on, always there, ready to go. And it is awesome. It really means a lot because my characters, my players are terrible people and don't show up on time. Um, so it's really nice having somebody that I can count on. And I know he's going to be there. I think maybe twice in the 3, 4 years we've been playing with him has he not shown up on time. Um, but he doesn't know Fantasy Grounds very well and hasn't taken the time to learn it. I mean, he can run it just fine. He's also very adept at running his characters. So some people might say, "Oh, well, I forgot that I have this special power," or "Oh, hey, I forgot about this spell. I've never used it before." He's not like that. He's very adept at running his characters, remembering all of his abilities, all of his special things that he can do, all that stuff. He does them really well. Um, he just doesn't role play very well, and very much. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. He has fun, and that's the whole point. As long as he's having fun, it's great. He also doesn't sit there and joke around and make stupid comments. Um, so there are some people who don't role play and then just are very disruptive. And every other comment is a joke or uh, talk about using cell phones and getting text messages in D&D and D and stuff. Break the immersion. He doesn't do that. He's just quiet and plays and does a really good job at doing his character and shows up early. So one of my favorite players. And the reason I mention that is because I used to get stressed out and used to worry because he wouldn't role play. I'm like, maybe he's not having fun like everybody else. So I would keep trying to push him and keep asking him character questions and do things um, to try to help him. Um, and after a while, it just became apparent that he doesn't need that. He that doesn't need that to have fun. And if anything, it might be making him more uncomfortable. So I just backed off on that and let it go. Uh, and it's pretty cool. He does. He's a great player. All right, so he gets another meta magic thing. He has 10 sorcery points. He has 11 spells, 6 cantrips. Holy crap! All right, so I didn't realize sorcerers got up that high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why does he have 7? Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll have to ask why he has 7. He should only have 6 cantrips. That's the max you can ever get. Is 6. Okay. I don't think he has any other feats or anything weird that gives him a cantrip. Let's check his abilities page. Feats. Nope. Alright, so I'm going to send him a message in the Discord saying I noticed Krek has 7 cantrips. The max he gets as a Sork is 6. And before I send it, I'm going to check and make sure everything else is correct. So let's see, because he gets a breath weapon. And speaking of which, way I work breath weapons in my games, because Dragonborn breath weapon is pretty cool up to like 3rd level, and then it just becomes almost pointless because you can do 1d6 damage. Wow. 2d6 damage. Wow. So this allows him to do plus your level. Cool. So I already have it tied in. So there we go. So now he's doing 2d6 plus 10. So he's doing at least 12 points of damage, up to 22 points of damage, and that's decent. Level 10, it's still not world shattering, still not going to one-shot anybody, but 22 points of damage is a decent shot. My alarm. Do a little. Alright, it reminds me I have to go pick up some stuff. Let's see. Got distracted there. Alright, so he should have, what did we say, 11 spells. So, going to his spells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Again, why do you have 13 spells, dude? You're killing me. Alright, spells known. Level 10 is 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, so we will just remind him. You have 11. You have 13 spells known, and at level 10 you should have 11. I may be forgetting something. Gives you more spells or cantrips. Or I may have kicked you off the table before you could take out the extra. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Don't want him to feel threatened. Don't want him to, feel like I'm attacking him, because I'm not. Like I said, he's usually really good all over this type of things. It may just be a simple mistake that he made, or like I said, he probably picked threw a couple on there and said, okay, now which one do I want, and then got kicked off the table. So looks like all of these are the correct kind, so they're all the right coding at least, except for detect magic, which is 30 feet. As you know, that might even be the right one because there is no range. All right, so he is ready to go. Oh no, Font of Magic. Yeah. What did he get? He got his Meta Magic. Let's see what he got for abilities. All right, Meta Magic. So he picked. What is this option? This is, I think, from Tasha. Yeah, this is from Tasha. We're not using that one. Yep, he is right. So he got one from the Spell Sniper feat. So awesome. All right, so he gets the extra cantrip from Spell Sniper. So awesome. That's cool. By the let's see. So check out, make sure he has the right number of sorcery points. Make sure that's correct. Let's see. What is spell elemental fantasy? When you cast a spell that deals damage of your type, you add your charisma to that damage, okay, and at the same time, you can spend one sorcery point to gain resistance to that damage for an hour. Okay. It deals damage of the type associated with your draconic ancestry. So his draconic ancestry is black, if I'm not mistaken. So this should only be acid, but he doesn't cast spells that deal with acid damage ever. So let's see. Draconic bloodline is black. Yep. All right, so that's not going to happen because he doesn't use spells to cast acid damage. Um, all right, so this is only acid. Resist acid. Okay. So I think what I'll let him do is I'll let him change this to lightning. Because he's a dragonborn with, so he's a blue, which is lightning dragonborn, with sorceress black dragon ancestry. Um, so I will go ahead and, so he said he wanted subtle meta magic. Let me look at here it is. Subtle spell, okay. So he has Careful Spell, Subtle Spell, and Twin Spell. Alright, so Heightened Spell is the only one that's in here. Okay, so my question to myself is, do I want to add... So in his particular case, I'm not going to add a cheat in the, or a reminder in the combat tracker. If it was another player, then I might add it to the combat tracker, just a note saying, boom, careful, twin, and subtle spells. Um, and actually, I think I am going to do that. I'm going to change my mind because it's more for me more than less for him. So let's see. First of all, these special actions. So I'm going into here to how often do you get your sorcery points back? Is that long or short rest? You finish. You gain all your spell points when you finish a long rest. All right. So this has all these dots. These two things don't get that stuff. So um, I'm changing this to where it's not 11 daily. I'm just getting rid of that because what I can do is I can add it here. There we go. So in the sorcery points themselves has it. Now we go to preparation. Preparation. We click here. Put the right number. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and retcon this. All right, so I'm checking with him to see if he has a moment so I can just tell him real quick what I'm doing. Where is my Discord? Here is my Discord channel. Boink. We'll see. If you can, you can. If you can, you can't. No big deal. All right, so I'm going to add this to that. Like I said, he's a Draconic. Now that he's hit 10th level, I'm going to give him this too. He's a Draconic blue Dragonborn, so he does lightning. And all of his spells are lightning. He has, not all of them, the majority of his spells are lightning. Um, and so, but his Draconic heritage is black. So, um, he only gets bonuses for acid spells. So I'm going to go ahead and give him bonuses for lightning spells too. Hey, so real quick, I just wanted to say the way rules is written, you have Krek, who is a blue Dragonborn. So he shoots lightning breath, and you've tailored most of his spells to the majority of what you do is lightning. As a sorcerer, Dragonborn sorcerer, you have a draconic bloodline, which is black. So that's acid. You have a special thing you picked up at 6th level called Elemental Affinity. Anytime you cast an acid spell, it gives you can spend a sorcery point to gain resistance to acid for an hour, and it every acid spell you cast does extra damage based on your charisma. What I'm doing is, now that you're 10th level, is I'm also going to make it for lightning. So if you cast a lightning spell or an acid spell, you can add your charisma mod to the damage. And if you spend a sorcery point, you can then gain resistance to lightning or acid for an hour. So I just wanted to explain all that without having to type it while I was thinking about it. So that was it. I just want to let you know I added that to you. And you may want to think about switching like Firebolt with like Acid Splash or something, so that as your cantrip, so that you can use that more. Because I don't think you have any spells that do acid. So just something to think about. Yeah, but because you have Eldritch, if you're just looking at the range, Eldritch Blast is 120. So you can, if you're, and that's the only other bonus the Firebolt would give you is the range. So Acid Splash, I think, would be a good one because it also splashes onto, if you have somebody who's adjacent to each other, you can do damage to 2 of them. Plus with your bonus with Charisma, I think that would be a good choice for you. But you can do what you want. All right, cool. Thanks for stopping by. I didn't want to have to type all that out. No problem. Talk to you later. All right, so now that we've given him this cool ability, we just have to add it. So what I'm going to do is, there's a couple different ways to do this. Let's see. So I think the easiest thing is just to make a new one. So I'm opening this up just to remind myself of what it says. Right click here where it says the action. We're going to add a action, and we're adding an effect. So we just tick. All right, it won't let you just drag it, but you can just do this. Control A, Control C, and we'll open up this one. Boom. So instead of acid, it is lightning. Electricity. It is 1 hour. Target is always self. Boom. And now we're doing the same thing with the effect. Actually, we don't need to because this is a single roll, so it doesn't matter what it's for. So what will happen is, so he casts his spell, let's say his Shocking Grasp is lightning. And what he will do is, let me open up get rid of my map so you can see it. So he rolls his Shocking Grasp. Boom. He hits. Before he rolls the damage, all he does is just click this. And it's going to add 5 damage to no matter what he does. But then in this particular case, it is this. And it actually should be more than that because he's 10th level. So his cantrip should be more than that. Let me just make sure that's correct. When you reach 5th level and 11th level. Yep. So there we go. Boom. So yeah, 2d8. Let me make sure his other ones, mending, Light Firebolt is 2d10. Electric. Yeah, Eldritch Blast, you get 2 of them, so it's fine. Alright, Shocking Grasp is not the right one. I'm going to add the correct one. Doesn't have the coding you should have. Come on. There it is. Search for Grasp. It's within my grasp. Wink. Oh, because he also has an effect. There you go. See? See? That's why you should use Rob 2E coatings and Robin's coatings when you're using deep magic. Alright, there you go. Boom. Now we'll get rid of this one. Alright, so he's set there. He has elemental affinity. I'm going to throw this sucker. I'm going to make another one here real quick. Just as... Actually, no, I'm not. I was going to say I was just going to do it as a reminder, but I'm not going to worry about that. All right, and so then if he wanted to, he could then go like this. Boom, add effect. If he spent his thing, he would have elemental resist lightning, and let's make sure it works. So if he were to shock himself, what'd you shocking yourself for? What'd you shocking yourself for? Instead of doing 10 damage, he did 5, and that is perfect. All right, so he is done. Because his subtle spell doesn't need... Oh, that's right, we were going to add that. So let's go to... I'm just looking at his things he has set up. Some people have class, some people have... So he has special actions. Okay, so what I'm going to do... Looks like this is just a reminder that was added to his page. What I'd like to do, and I must have forgotten, is I like to put the definition of what it is right there on his page so he doesn't have to go back and forth. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. Your range spells, attacks, ignore half cover and 3/4 cover. And when you cast a spell that requires you make an attack roll, the spell roll range is doubled. So now he has that available to him right there on the page. What I'm also going to do is make sure that all of his spells are correct. Well, let me adjust it here. It will. So his, instead of being 120, his Eldritch Blast is 240. His Mage Hand is 60. Oh no, Mage Hand does not have an attack, so that doesn't count. Chromatic Orb is 180. Magic Missile is 240. And Witch Bolt is 60. What I did with him, because I do Mage Bolt, Witch Bolt, he uses Witch Bolt a lot, is I added Witch Bolt level 3, level 2, level 3, so all the way up. So as he upcasts Witch Bolt, he has the correct rolls and such. So I'm going to then take this and put it into level 4, if it will let me. It did not. Okay, so these two should be the same. Just want to make sure before I delete it. Yep, click. Where in the spell does it say level 3? Okay, open it up. Right there. Okay, good. So what you do is you go to your spells. In this case, I'm typing bolt. What we're trying to do, okay, in this case, we're typing witch bolt, because there's a lot of witch bolt spells, more than I thought, is, and then to add them, what you do is you go like this, you drag this over, poof, I now have witch bolt level 1. So if I have any other characters who want to have this spell, they're able to do that. And then what I'm doing is I'm making a copy. So you click and drag it and let go. And then I open it up, unlock it, and I'm making it level 4. Go down here to level 4. When you cast a spell, the initial damage increases by 1d12. The initial damage increases by 1d12. All right, so I now take it and I drag it over here to Witch Bolt level 4. I mean, to his level 4 spell slots. And that's what it was. So he doesn't have any extra spells. I told you he knows what he's doing. So that's why I was surprised. These Witch Bolt, 2 extra Witch Bolts don't count. All right. See if I can spell correctly. I'm just letting him know. It was my mistake. All right. So what we do is the initial one, instead of being 3d12, it's going to be 4d12. So what I do with Witch Bolt is I increase the damage you do every round. So the way Witch Bolt is written, rules is written, is you attack somebody with an attack spell. If you hit, only if you hit, you are now the Emperor with Force Lightning. You have attached yourself to this person. You can't, and you do your 1d12 damage. The next round, you can't do anything else. You can't move. You don't have reactions. You're just maintaining the concentration of this spell, and you do 1d12 more damage. That's it. Then you go to the next round, and you do 1d12 more damage. Here you have a level 10 character who can do like 9d8 lightning damage, taking up his entire turn, 1d12 damage. he can cast a cantrip that does 2d10 every turn. So what I've done is if he chooses to do nothing except cast Witch Bolt, he does 1d12. The second turn, he does 1d12 plus 1d4. Not world breaking. So it goes from 1 to 12 to 2 to 16, possibly. The next round, it's 1d6 plus 1d12. The next round is 1d8 plus 1d12. So it just adds a little bit more damage because he's doing nothing else except blasting this one creature. Um, Plus, it's creating a line of electricity between him and his target, which if somebody else passes through, could possibly break it, could do damage to them, all those type of things. So this just gives it a little bit more oomph, makes it a little bit more exciting um, to do. So all I'm doing is going through here and changing the damages. And so what I did is I made different damages for each round. So it's round 1, round 2, round 3, and round 4. I figure they're not going to go more than 4 rounds at any given day. So now we're just going to add 12-siders to this. Boink. 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 There you go. So if he's upcasting Witch Bolt, then at level 4. So now what we have to do is we go over here. You delete level 4 because it's incorrect. And you then pull it from his spells. So now we have a level 4. If anybody else wants to use it, they can. And again, we're just going to do the same thing. Make a copy. Actually, no, we didn't have to make a copy. I'm a silly person. So forget making a copy. You take the original level. Actually, no, you do. I was right. Because you have to change it to level 4. If you don't change it to level 4, then you can't drag it into his level 5 spell slots. You come here, you change it to level 5, level 5. Then we drag it down here, and we do the same thing. We will delete this one. Stop editing so I don't accidentally mess myself over. Open up all the magnifying glasses. 1, 2, 3, 4. And add d12s. So now if he can burn it as a 5th level spell, be doing 5d12. Next round, 5d12 plus 1d4. So again, not earth-shattering. It's not going to destroy the world by adding these little extra dice to it. So everything is good. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome. Living on a dream. All right, there you go. Boom. And I don't know if that's right words or not, but there you go. So now, finally, Krek is finished. Boing, boing, boing. All right, well, hey, folks. If you've been hanging out with me still, if you're still there, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Looks like Atomic and Remedies are still with me. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I really need to get that. I'm at like 1.8, almost up to 2 viewers per hour. streamed, and I need to get to 3 to get that affiliate. It's the only thing I'm missing. Uh, so the two of you hanging out with me is priceless. Thank you so much. I've had people say they wanted to give, help me out with biddies and subscriptions and stuff, and just can't because I'm not up to that par yet. So this is awesome. But enough of me gushing on. Thank you so much. If you're watching this later, check out my other streams on if you're around on Tuesdays or Wednesday mornings, 10:30. I do this for D&D and Starfinder. Tomorrow, obviously, I'll be doing Starfinder. So didn't get to the map today, but that's all right. I might do. I need to work on that map, so I might just do another stream later today or tomorrow when I'm working on that map. Um, if you have questions, comments, please leave them. I read every single comment that's left, and either reply directly and or reply in the next stream. So thank you. Wherever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.